Tales of Barbuzaar, an Ethiopian folk tale. The poor man, the rich man, and the magic stick. A long time ago, a poor man was married to a beautiful woman. The man and his wife never quarreled. The husband loved his wife, the wife loved her husband. They were very happy. But this happy couple had a rich, handsome neighbor. He saw the poor man's beautiful wife and he fell in love with her and wanted to marry her. Every day, when the woman's husband was walking in the fields, the rich man went to the poor man's house.
You're a beautiful woman, but your clothes are old. Why doesn't your husband buy new pretty clothes for you? I'm sure he doesn't love you. If he loved you, he would buy wonderful clothes for you. Divorce him and marry me. I will buy you beautiful new clothes, the best in the land. Then you will be the most beautiful woman in Ethiopia.
At first, the woman didn't listen to the rich man, but he came to her house every day, and every day he said the same things. At last, she began to believe what he said and thought, perhaps my husband doesn't love me. One night, she said to her husband,
Look at me, my husband. My clothes are old and ugly. I want new ones. Buy me some new clothes, please.
You don't need new clothes. You are the most beautiful woman in the world to me.
Don't you love me? If you love me, please buy me a new dress.
The husband loved his wife and he wanted to please her. So he thought, I have only a little money and I need a new plot, but I want my dear wife to be happy. So the next day, he went to the market and he bought a new dress for his wife. He took it home to her and she put it on and was very happy. When the rich man came to see her again the next day, she was wearing her new dress.
You see, my husband loves me very much. He bought me this beautiful new dress.
But a good husband doesn't only give his wife new clothes, he gives her gold. Where's your gold necklace? Where are your gold rings? Why doesn't your husband give you those?
He opened the box and showed her some beautiful gold jewelry.
Look at these. Divorce your husband and marry me, and I will give all these to you.
Go away, I love my husband and he loves me, and we are happy together.
But the rich man came again, every day, and every day he showed her the box of jewelry. At last, she began to think, perhaps the rich man is right. Why doesn't my husband buy gold for me? Doesn't he love me? One day, she didn't make a fire. She didn't cook a meal. Her husband came home late. After a long day in the fields, he was tired and hungry.
There's no dinner for you tonight. You don't love me.
What? But my darling, I love you more than anything. You are the most wonderful person in the world.
Then why don't you buy me some gold jewelry? When a man loves his wife, he gives her a gold necklace and rings for her fingers.
Her husband looked worried and began to think,
I spent money on her new clothes. How can I find more for gold? I'll go and see my brother. Perhaps he will lend me the money. I must buy gold for my dear wife. I want her to be happy.
The next day, he went to visit his brother and asked him to borrow him some money in exchange for free labor in his brother's stone field. His brother agreed to borrow him the money, so the same day, he went to the market and bought some gold jewelry. Then he took it home to his wife. His wife was very happy. She put the necklace round her neck and put the rings on her fingers.
Look at me, am I not beautiful?
You're very beautiful. If you are happy, I am happy.
Thank you so much, my dear husband. Now I know that you love me.
The next day, her husband went out very early to walk in his brother's field. It was covered with stones.
I must work very hard now. I must start early and stop late. I must pay my debt to my brother.
During this time, his wife was walking happily at home.
I'll make a wonderful dinner for my husband tonight. He gives me wonderful presents. He works hard for me. I know that he loves me.
Suddenly, a voice called out. The woman went outside. Her rich neighbor was there.
Ah, it's you. Listen, neighbor, you were wrong about my husband. Yesterday he bought me this beautiful jewelry. He loves me very much and I love him too. I will not divorce him. I will not marry you.
The rich man was worried as he realized her husband loved her too much, so he thought, if I want her, I must be clever. At last he said,
Your husband gave you clothes and jewelry, but I can give you more than that.
What? What do you mean?
Can your husband make miracles?
Miracles? No, of course he can't make miracles. Only God can make miracles.
But I can, because I love you. Love can make miracles. If your husband loves you, he can make miracles for you. If you love me, I will make miracles for you.
Make a miracle for me now then, if this is true.
I can't. You must promise to love me first. You must leave your husband and come to me. Then I will make wonderful, wonderful miracles for you.
The woman said nothing, and the rich man went away. That night, the poor man came home late. He was very tired and hungry. His wife brought water for him, and he washed himself. She brought delicious food for him, and he ate it. Seeing her husband, the woman thought,
My poor husband, he works so hard for me and he is so tired and hungry. The rich man is foolish. How can my husband make miracles? It's impossible.
But the next day, and the day after, and the day after that, the rich man came to her house again, reminding her that he would make many miracles for her if only she would choose to abandon her husband and marry him. At last, the woman began to listen to him. One day, when her husband came home, she was sad.
My dear wife, what is wrong with you? Are you sick?
No, I'm sad because you do not love me.
What? But you know that I love you. I bought you new clothes. I bought you gold jewelry. You're the most precious thing in the world to me.
But you don't make miracles for me.
Her poor husband was very surprised.
Miracles? Of course I can't make miracles. Why do you want a miracle? Who gave you the idea?
Our neighbor came to see me today. He said, Love makes miracles. If a man loves a woman, he will make miracles for her.
Her husband became very worried as he thought,
That wicked man wants to take my wife. All this trouble comes from him. When he first came here, she wanted new clothes. Then she wanted gold jewelry. And now she wants a miracle. What can I do? If I don't make a miracle, perhaps my wife will leave me and marry him.
The next day, he went slowly to walk in his brother's field when he thought to himself, I must pray, only God can help me now. So he looked up to heaven and began to pray. On this day, he walked all morning. Then, in the middle of the day, he sat down under a tree to rest. A man was sitting there already.
Who are you?
I am a divine being and I have a gift for you. Look, here are 2 sticks. They make miracles.
Miracles? What kind of miracles?
If you touch a person with the first stick, he will become a donkey.
The poor man thought of the rich man, and he smiled.
A donkey? That's very good. And if I touch him with the second stick, what will happen?
He will become a man again.
The poor man took the sticks and jumped up.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I prayed to God and he sent you to me. Now I can keep my wife and punish my enemy.
So he ran home and called out his wife to come see a miracle. His wife came out of the house.
I can make a miracle, my wife.
A miracle? What miracle?
Look.
He touched her with the first stick. At once, she became a donkey. She lifted her head and tried to speak, but she could not. Her husband touched her with the other stick. At once, she became a woman again.
My husband, that's wonderful. It's a real miracle. How did you do it?
I prayed to God and he helped me. And now, wife, I am going to punish my enemy.
Your enemy? Who is that?
He looked at her seriously this time and wasn't smiling.
You know my enemy. It's the rich man, our neighbor. He comes to our house when I am working in the fields. He gives you bad ideas. Ask your husband for new clothes, he says. Ask him for gold jewelry. Ask him for a miracle. Am I right? Did our rich neighbor give you all these ideas?
His wife said nothing.
And did you listen to him?
Her husband went on. His wife did not look at him. She was ashamed.
I'm sorry, it's true. He said all those things. He wanted me to divorce you and marry him, and I listened to him.
And do you want to divorce me and marry him?
She looked at him. Her eyes were full of tears.
No. Dear husband, I want to stay with you forever and I will never listen to him again.
Then take this stick and touch the rich man with it.
He gave his wife the first stick, but he hid the second one in the roof. The next day, he went to work. Soon, the rich man arrived at the woman's house.
Well, and can your husband make miracles yet?
Yes, he can.
She said, and she touched him with the first stick. At once, the rich man changed into a donkey.
Now, you can go to work and help my dear husband.
She took the donkey out to the fields. Her husband was walking there. He was moving stones from his brother's field.
Ah, a donkey. Now I can finish the job quickly.
From that day, the poor man gave the donkey many heavy loads to carry. The donkey carried stones away from the fields. It took sacks of teff to the market and brought flour and coffee home again. For many years, the donkey worked for the poor man. The poor man was not so poor now. The donkey was helping him. He was becoming richer. One day, the poor man looked at the donkey. It was tired and old. It stood still. Its head was bent down. The poor man was sorry for him. He went into his house and brought out the second stick. Then he touched the donkey with it. At once, the rich man stood there. But he was not a handsome young man now. He was old. His back was bent. He was very, very tired.
You tried to take my wife away from me. That was wrong. Go home now. Don't look at other men's wives again.
The rich man went away, and he never came back again. But the poor man and his beautiful wife lived happily together for many more years. The end.